hold it in, and woo! The initial effects all happen in under a minute. A lot of people after 2 minutes or 3 minutes start getting a little paranoid, but that's fine. That's why I did want to show you what I do. If you get a little bit like, ooh, you always definitely make sure you know what the safety plan is, where you're staying in case of the emergency, like the outbreak of Ebola, or it could be militias took over, or the jihadists came to America, or a big disease that the government unleashed on the people accidentally. Whatever the emergency is, this tells you how to safely avoid it. And you also always want to latch your door. You don't want to just answer the door every time someone knocks. It might be some gang of thugs coming to bum rush you. You know, little kids with no money. Hear that sizzle? I call my recipe the sweet taste of 98. There's all types of people in the world, but all of us share certain commonalities and personalities, and we all change during the day or during the week or the month. Some people like it really stuffed hard, packed in there tight where you can barely get it through, and some like it kind of loose. I'm kind of in the middle. Whether you're a carpet crawler, a shoegazer, it's the shoegazer. They have to start looking down at their shoes, at the carpet, thinking about crawling around. I'll kind of show you what they do. Woo! They just start looking down all creepy at the floor. And I'll kind of give you a demo of what they do. They're gazing down at the floor. They're really interested in it. You know what I'm saying? And they just obsessed with it. Like you're scared looking at them. They freak you out all the time because they're like down there looking at the floor like there's gold down there. And so they start carpet crawling. Carpet crawling is a big part of the process. In fact, a lot of people will start crawling the carpet right away. One of my rules is just don't look down, because then you start seeing all these white things on the floor and you think it's some of that nice sweet tasted 98. When you're carpet crawling, you want to look for a suitable target area. Perhaps maybe you were partying earlier on the desk and maybe things fell there, because you're going to have a hard time crawling all over your entire floor. Another thing you want to think about doing is, say you see this and you're like, it's kind of hard. I'm not sure if it's bread or not, but you take your high probability targets, you set them aside. And then if you get a piece in there, that's plaster. Don't just toss it aside. Put it in a special spot as well, so that you're not going all night crawling and you hit the same piece 20 times and putting it in your mouth like a little 2-year-old. Didn't your mom teach you anything? I mean, if you're doing that, you need to seek help. This isn't recreational gold mining here. We're not looking for dust. We're looking for pebbles, nuggets, chunks, the big pieces, the big bonanza, something of value. And when you pull aside your aggregate total of your high probability targets, you're able to sift it out later and agitate the water like you are panning for gold. I've known people, some after they're done carpet crawling all night, they'll vacuum the whole floor. And then they rip open the vacuum bag. And then they're picking through that. But I have heard Harry McGillicuddy one time vacuumed up his whole carpet, put all that stuff into a boiling water, and what floated to the top ever so gently and slowly was this nice oil droplet that hardened after it cooled, and it was pure freebase. And there he had the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for Harry McGillicuddy. So a couple things to remember when you're carpet crawling around. Make sure you look in areas that have a high probability of having dense deposits, such as somewhere where you partied earlier in the night. And make sure you set aside your high value targets, those with a high probability of being real, for examination, analysis, data collection, and conclusion on what you have there. And that is the scientific method of carpet crawling. There's every type under the rainbow. An erratic squirrel, a freak out, a hoarder, a Fred Sanford. No matter what your type, everyone has a little bit of these traits. And I've done research that showed, I actually did work out the quantum dynamical equations that show that each type has this commonality and parallel with each astrological sign. One type of supersedic partier that you might run into, a lot of people call them the freakouts. They really correlate with the sign of the Samaric zodiac, you know, which really correlates with all the moons of Venus. I'll kind of give you a demo of what might happen if you're partying with one, and you'll get an idea. You know, they'll be partying with you and they'll be like, hey, let's do it, you know, and they're all being cool, like totally cool, like they're telling you some cool shit and everything, and then they do their thing. And they don't freak out on you right away. They might do a couple puffs. And then in no time, stop it. Stop doing that to me. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? I know you're trying to kill me. You're gonna kill. You want to? I'm gonna call Tommy. I'm gonna call the last people, and they're gonna come up. I'm gonna call you. You fucking freak. You think this is fucking funny? What you're doing to me? Close your third eye. You fucking freak. You goddamn. Get off on that. Get off on hurting people like that. Stop it. Stop. I can't stand. I am gonna fucking... I'm talking to you. Stop and listen to what I'm saying. You did all my resin. You for your stupid life, you're fucked up, goddamn judgmental predicator, making up shit. You get off on it. Call Cadillac Black. So we gotta get more. I hate your fucking scrolling and hiding shit around. You hid it off on me and hiding in your closet. One of the other types, like the hysterical type, very similar to the freak out. Same with the Carmethian zodiac. They're very aligned to it. This is my special famous recipe of fake crack. It's all legal, all the ingredients. This isn't like some kind of crank meth thing. The pop rocks are part of the recipe, but I'm not going to tell you how much of each thing. But there's a lot more to having legal crack that works, and it will get your heart pumping. I really can't divulge the recipe until I trademark it and start marketing fake crack at 7-Eleven. It's Chobo. Call it Cho. If you're in the South, just say, hey, you got any glass pens and some Cho? Woo! That's because it has that sweet taste of the real 98 stuff. And of course, like I say, I haven't patented my recipe yet, so I can't give you all the ingredients. But I can tell you there is some baking soda, some no-dos from the truck stop. As a ceremony, as a sort of rite of passage, as we step from one phase in life to the other. From just recreational user, now I'm totally cured. No longer do I have any addictions or problems in my life.